My name's Rachel Phipps and this is my cookbook Student Eats, which has over 120 quick, easy, simple and delicious recipes for students. If you're cooking on a budget, you have limited skill or experience in the kitchen, you have a tiny kitchen or you barely have any kitchen equipment, this is the cookbook for you and you'll definitely find something to cook in here. So next from Student Eats, I'm going to make pea, prawn and mushroom egg fried rice, which is my favourite thing to have as a takeaway replacement without having to order food in because it's much cheaper and much better for you. So let's get cooking. So I'm using shiitake mushrooms because I like the flavour that you get, especially when doing Asian cooking. Just slicing these roughly, but you can use chestnut mushrooms, which are a bit cheaper and they'll work just as well in the recipe. Tail the spring onions. Pull off any rough outer bits and then just chop bits that are soft rather than firm off the tops. And then you want them sliced quite thinly, but not so thinly that they'll dissolve. So a couple of millimetres each, because you want to be able to taste the onion. And you don't have to, but I like to do them on the diagonal for fried rice as well. Right, so to do the egg fried bit of the rice, we're going to roughly scramble an egg in the wok before we cook everything else and remove it again. So we just want to lightly beat the egg. Put that there. We've got groundnut oil. I tend to add just about a teaspoon because first we're just going to lightly scramble an egg. This will be very hot when it goes in, so I like to be prepared. So you're going for the sort of, not really the main texture scrambled eggs, you just want it cooked in pieces, so don't be worried when it goes in. Really just cooking it into pieces. If you want those eggy chunks you get in good egg fried rice. It's only when it just starts to brown you want to start taking it out. So, got the pieces. It's okay if you add it back in the raw egg because you're going to add it back in. So I'm going to cook some mushrooms, so add more oil. I'm using groundnut oil here, but you can use any light oil. It's back in the pan, in with the mushrooms. Turn the heat up so it's as high as it will go. I tend to keep it slightly lower for egg. The idea of stir frying, you just want it to move around the pan a lot. Nice bit of direct heat. And they start to soften and start to get a little bit of colour on before you add more ingredients. I'm happy with that. So in with the still frozen prawns and the peas. So you basically want to go now until the prawns are defrosted. It shouldn't be long, literally about a minute. Prawns are defrosted. Now I want to get cooked rice in. You can use leftovers, you can cook some up specially. Give it a nice toss round. And I just need to add about a tablespoon of soy sauce. Toss that in so it's well coated. And add in your cooked bits of egg if you haven't already done so. So that is finished. We've got pea, prawn and mushroom egg fried rice. So it's now time to plate up. Try not to get it all over the counter. So here's the pea, prawn and mushroom egg fried rice, and I hope you enjoy the recipe. It's just as good cold as it is hot if you've got any leftovers.